Spring training has officially begun, and finally, we are getting some movement on the free agent market. What's going on, guys? It's the King of 161st Street. I'm back with another video, and it is getting seemingly more likely that Scott Boras is realizing he overdid his hand, and these shorter term deals are going to be coming more and more often as this offseason continues. Cody Bellinger has just signed a 3-year, $80 million deal to stay with the Chicago Cubs. Now, in terms of on-field, this seemed like a perfect fit. Once the money wasn't out there for Cody Bellinger, this was the perfect fit for him. He raked in Chicago last season, kind of rejuvenated his career. Part of the reason why he had an opportunity to make some money this offseason, and it almost was because Chicago freed him, right? They gave him that opportunity to let the pressure off of his shoulder. It would have been foolish of him to take a shorter term deal like this anywhere else. In terms of on the field, this is a perfect fit, but let's look at some of the contract details. So it's 3 years, $80 million, and there are opt-out clauses, meaning he could opt out after year 1 and year 2, and then year 3, the contract ends. So there's always an out in this contract for Cody Bellinger. This type of contract is going to be the exact contract you are going to see everywhere else in terms of Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, JD Martinez. These guys are not going to sign long-term unless they really find their number. And if Cody Bellinger couldn't find his number, that means no offensive player that's still on the market is going to find their number. Pitching-wise, it would be a little bit more interesting to see if a Blake Snell could find his number, knowing that the Yankees are the only team to give him an offer sheet. There are only 2 to 3 teams interested in his services. Jordan Montgomery, what's going on with him? There does not seem to be any movement anywhere for Jordan Montgomery. This type of deal is going to be given out to basically everyone left on the market. Now that spring training has begun, we are going to see a few injuries happen here and there. That's when these guys are going to get signed. I am not expecting this offseason to sort of pick itself up right as spring training begins. This is still going to be a longer process than we think. We thought the domino fell when Shohei, when he signed the $700 million, you would have thought that every team that was in on Shohei would have pivoted right away. And like in other sports, when one domino falls, it's just a free fall. All of them start to sign within a day or two. That's not what's happening right now, and that's not what's going to happen. Cody Bellinger knew what his worth was, and he knew what he wanted. That's exactly what he got, and was able to stay in a city that gave him this fresh start. He got what he wanted. I don't think a guy like Blake Snell has seen what he wants yet. The Yankees apparently have a deal on the table. There are no logistics. In my opinion, I believe it would be very, very similar to what Cody Bellinger got. Maybe a little bit more valuable. It would be closer to 3 years, $90 million. Give him that extra $10 million to make it $30 million a year. That to me would seem more likely in this scenario. It's difficult to know how long this is going to take, because this is unprecedented territory. The last time we saw this was Bryce Harper. He came off of his years with Washington and he was trying to find his number, and he didn't sign till mid-March. It's not like this situation is so unprecedented. It's unprecedented to see so many big talents still available. We still have the Blake Snells. We still have the Jordan Montgomerys. Like, it's very rare to see that type of talent pool still available once spring training starts. With spring training beginning, teams are going to start to try and get in now. They need to know what their roster is going to look like. For the players, they're waiting on some hurt players on other teams, which is very unfortunate that they are kind of preying on people's downfall. It's not really that. They are just looking to see. It's inevitable that someone's going to get injured in spring training. If someone gets injured in spring training at my position, I can pounce and get a deal from them. Like if you're looking at it as like Blake Snell, if a starter tears his UCL, has to go down for Tommy John, bam, he's right in. If there's a DH that's overswings, now he's going to be out for a month or two with some leg issues, bam, JD Martinez is signed. So this is still going to be a waiting game. There is no real end in sight On other news, some of the middle level free agents are starting to get picked up. Tim Anderson has signed a 1-year, $5 million deal with Miami. Logistically, you kind of knew Tim Anderson was going to get a shorter term deal worth not too much money because of how abysmal 2023 was for him. This is a great opportunity for him. And even though he wasn't in the spotlight in Chicago, this is a real chance with real talent around him. So he has multiple talents around him now, not just Luis Robert. Now he has Jazz Chisholm, Luis Arise. You got talent. It's going to be easier for him to find his spots. Now, the real question here is defensively, how the fuck is this going to work? Because you have Luis Arise and Tim Anderson as your middle infield. That is crazy bad infield. Miami's going to have to deal with that. They're probably going to try and sacrifice some fielding, possibly get the upside of a Tim Anderson bat, which is an over 320 batting average, having a pretty high on base percentage. Going from there, really. Hopefully, they could get things together. Hopefully, you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, and peace.